Hey everybody, CES is over, and quite honestly, at least for a lot of us, that's a good thing, because that's a lot of new tech that we get to see, and also a lot of new tech that I hope we never actually see again. I'm sorry, I don't want to see a car that changes color every 5 seconds, but one of the bigger things that came out just before CES was the new Nvidia card, the 4070 Ti. We're gonna have a talk about that, and we're gonna have a little bit of talk about why I'm not as excited about this as others are. We're gonna have a talk about this, and we're gonna also discuss why no one really in the tech tuber space is really excited to see that this is happening. Before I begin, don't forget to like the video if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, link is down below to the merch store. Go get some great merch. So we'll just start right off the bat. The reason a lot of people aren't excited for this new 4070 Ti is just quite honestly what it was before. This was originally, and it's just confirmed just based off of the specs that we got for both these cards, the 4080 8 gig. That's what this is. This is a 4080 8 gig that was just, they slapped a sticker on the card and changed it to a 4070 Ti, hoping to mislead everybody and hope that they wouldn't get it backfired on them. Didn't really work as well as they were hoping, because it blew up pretty much in their face in the fact that not a single YouTuber I saw had a positive thumbnail nor title for their video for this. But let's look at the benchmarks and we'll see what you guys think, because in the end it's not based on our opinion as the people that look through this, it's based on your own opinion if you think it's worth your money. So first one here is Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K. There is not a single person that I know of that got a 4070 Ti reference card, which is because they're not making one. This is a little similar to like that 3090 Ti time when we didn't get reference cards. Everybody got third-party cards. So this guy had an Inno 3D RTX. I don't ever know this brand. 4070 Ti, and the big thing here is Nvidia claimed, and I'm just going to pull the chart up here right now, that performance to the 3090 Ti was going to be about 3 times as much. In reality, it matches. The 3090 and the 3090 Ti actually beat losing to it a little bit. This might have been a fluke, but to be honest, I don't think so. This is the one benchmark I'm going to put up on this one, but almost every YouTuber did their own benchmarks with Cyberpunk in the lineup, I'm pretty sure. Not one of them I saw did as much performance as Nvidia claimed. Now, that's not as surprising as I would really think to be, because AMD does it, Nvidia does it, they all do it. You don't trust what they say about the performances until we get to the third-party reviews. And in total, the 4070 Ti actually is generally really close to the 7900 XT or the XTX. However, in this case, the XT and the XTX kind of really showed the 4070 Ti up in this. It was the third highest ranking card in this, getting even closer to this 4090 FE, which just shows you driver updates help. Next we get to Watchdog Legion. This is actually a really cool game. I haven't played and I really want to. And just based off my card, the 3070 Ti, I have a pretty good time, even playing at 1440p. Its successor, the 4070 Ti, because it's the namesake, is what I'm going off for that, does about 40 frames more in general. Now the 3090 Ti does about 10 less, so Watchdog Legions, the RTX 4070 Ti, obviously did a little bit better. However, I have to point this out again, the 4080, 4090 And the 7900 XT and the XTX trounced this thing. Now, in its defense, this card is not supposed to be, if we go with the scale for Nvidia in terms of how their naming scheme goes, which, can we just throw that out of the door already? They obviously don't care about that, and they aren't going to follow it themselves. This card does pretty good in terms of pricing to performance, kind of, compared to these. However, the 7900 XT I think's like $100 more at most, because even though the actual price, the MSRP, which doesn't exist, for a 4070 Ti is $800, most people are going to be spending $850. $50 difference, and there are 20 frames difference in just this one game, and the other, it was 20 frames. We're getting back to this chart again, not because I have any of these other games on here, which I actually need to get rid of my video capture for this. All of these, they said was going to have better performance, even by less than half to 1.5, just to really show they want you to know there was supposed to be a lot of performance gains here. Was there actually? I don't think so. I think, like always, this is what they said, and we gotta take that with a grain of salt until we get third-party reviews. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was actually a pretty good showing for the 4070 Ti. It almost matched the 7900 XT and the XTX, and only got really trounced by that 4090, which is really good. However, 3090 Ti, a little bit behind. And that's a big win for Nvidia in terms of this card is being called the 3090 killer, or 3090 Ti killer. I can't remember which one they really said, because I didn't care. Anytime they open their mouth and say things like that, I just get depressed, because I don't believe it until I see it on a benchmark. Here again, we actually see a 3090 get beat by a 4070 Ti, but the 4070 Ti also gets beat by all the cards above it. So, seeing a little bit of a normal thing here where the high-end AMD cards and Nvidia cards are just trouncing on this thing. It makes sense for these two. These two also make sense in a way, though I bet a lot of people aren't happy with it in the Nvidia camp. So this is a bit of a generic one. I don't think this is from Nvidia themselves. I'm not positive. Actually, it might be. Nope. Pretty sure that this is not one of theirs, which is actually really good for me. So here again, we see the Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is with a 3080 as the other card that they're comparing it to, which I'm not exactly excited about, because this is supposed to be a 3090 Ti killer, not a 3080 killer. But it does help a little bit, because that can get a little close. So in terms here, the Warhammer game right here is supposed to do about a 1.5% better than the 3090 Ti. Let's get over here. It almost did two times than a 3080. I would say that it gets pretty close. The Microsoft Flight Simulator was another one on that thing. That was supposed to be 2 times, and they about did that. So I would say this is actually very representative of the Nvidia chart, and at least they have one person that said they got those kind of results, just didn't use the right card for the test, which does irk me a little bit, but I'm not the one that ran the test. So here we see another one. This is a little bit of a synthetic benchmark from Geomean, which I don't know that one, so I will have to look that one up now, because it is sounding interesting. The 4070 Ti did actually in the middle of the pack, and it beat the 3090, but again, lost to the top 4, like it should. 3D Port Royal, the 4070 lost the XTX, matched almost the XT, and lost to the 4080 just royally. And of course, anybody that's running a 2080 Super here probably is not as excited about their price. However, probably eBay prices are pretty good right now. The Division 2, which I don't know that game, if it's a game. Leave a comment down below if it's a game, I don't know. 4070 Ti is pretty good here, only losing to the 4080. However, they don't have any of the cards that I would like to see in this. I don't. Now, this might just be because they didn't get the cards. That's very possible. That happened a lot during the last couple of years because not even the tech guys could get cards. But we can reference a little bit. We're pretty sure the 7900 XT and XTX would have probably gotten around the 4070 Ti, and the 4090 would have just trounced it. I would like to see a 3090 and a 3090 Ti here, but referencing my guess here is that it would have been in the area of the 4070 Ti. And this is a price to performance thing. I actually have a hard time understanding this chart entirely, but I did want to have this chart in here because it actually is very important. And here we got our Port Royal again, 4070 Ti right here, matching the 3090 Ti, matching the 7900 XT, getting beaten by the XTX, 4080, and 4090. So not a lot where you're seeing the 3090 Ti come out ahead for sure. The 3090 Ti did beat it by a frame, but depending on how many times this was tested, that could be a fluke, but I would like to assume that these guys did their work. And that's a big difference than just seeing this chart, because you don't see other cards that you need to see. You don't see the 3090 Ti, you don't see the 3090, you don't see the 4090. And this is important. Seeing as many cards as you can around that area of pricing. And honestly, to me, I have a hard time recommending either company right now. But that was your 4070 Ti roundup of the benchmarks. Like I said earlier, I'm having a hard time really recommending either card company right now. So my suggestion for those that are looking to upgrade, buy some off eBay. Just get a good card for a good price. There's a bunch of 3000 series and 2000 series running around on eBay right now that are going for steals. This just might have to be a generation we skip for this year. Don't like saying it because I like gamers getting the best they can, but not at this kind of a detriment to quality to me. Not in quality of the cards. The cards are great quality, don't get me wrong. I'm unhappy with the quality of customer concern from both Nvidia and AMD at the moment. In AMD with the whole vapor chamber and the temperature problems they've been having on their card, and also Nvidia with the whole, well, the whole switching from 4088 gig to the 4070 Ti. We all saw it coming, but I was really hoping that they were just gonna have to be okay with it, or we're going to at least go lower or something. But they didn't, and we'll just have to live with that. So, thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like down below if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, link is down below to the merch store. And go get some great merch. If you guys enjoyed this video, I bet you guys go check out the video I did on the Durbauer milling of the 7900 XTX vapor chamber. That was a really cool video, and being able to look inside an AMD vapor chamber, that's not something you're going to be able to see too often, and it's really cool. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and have a good day.